Welcome back. Courtney Evans is a clinical counselor with Northern Light Health Addiction Care, and with the Super Bowl fast approaching, we wanted to have you come in. So first, thank you so much for coming in. We want to talk about gambling addiction. First off, what are some signs that somebody may be falling victim to this addiction?
Absolutely. So some signs would typically be a preoccupation with the gambling process, with finding money to engage in those activities. We would also start to see some negative consequences with some complications with social or personal relationships. We may start to see some obvious financial difficulties, but we may see some difficulties with employment and with schooling if somebody is engaged in school.
Strategies you found that can deal with this or address some of these obstacles that people are dealing with?
Absolutely. So getting them engaged in individual therapy, which would include like cognitive behavior therapy, motivational interviewing. We would also want to see them kind of work with group programming as well as family counseling. We would want to have them connect with some social supports in the community, such as Gamblers Anonymous, which can be both online and in that town, so in person. That actually helps take away some of the shame and the guilt for those individuals that may not feel comfortable going in their own hometown, but to do so online would help them to kind of have access to that resource.
You know, it can seem like a broad subject matter, but is there anything specifically, or maybe a success story you could share with us where somebody has overcome this and come out the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. So the people that we have worked with that have been successful have engaged in all of the resources that have been available to them. They've reached out, they've connected with counseling, they've connected with peer supports, they have worked to attend those Gamblers Anonymous programs in the community. And what they've done is they've taken the skills that they've learned and they're not utilizing the addictive lifestyle anymore. What they're doing is they're shifting into a recovery-focused lifestyle, incorporating coping strategies to help them live a happy, healthy life.
I think about adults in this area, and for a long time, maybe you had to go to Mohegan Sun if you wanted to place a bet. A casino came into our lives about a decade or so ago, and now just this past year, sports gambling. So it's become more prevalent and more available in people's lives. As a society, what are some things that we could do to be better about helping these people?
So we can utilize education programs, we can do awareness programs, we can incorporate gambling addiction into current school curricula that's already addressing drugs and alcohol, because at the end of the day, addiction is addiction, and by focusing on the gambling addiction, we can raise healthier, happier youth into their adulthood.
Based on about your experience, what are the most significant challenges when you try to treat people that are dealing with gambling addictions? And I guess what steps do you think we should take as a society, as an individuals? What can we do?
So we can start with looking at advocacy. We can start by looking at education, like we're doing today. We're having this brief conversation, but it's starting to talk about it. We can also look at reducing stigma, because what we're seeing is anybody that struggles with addiction struggles with the shame, the blame, the guilt that comes from the disease itself. But by reducing the stigma, we can help by, we can offer many more opportunities in our community with education.
If don't wait too long. If you have someone in your life, reach out to them. Maybe have other people step in, because it's not always easy to get through to people, because I don't know, maybe it's not your typical addiction. I think we've seen alcoholism, we've seen drug addiction, gambling addiction. Maybe the signs are like you said, just some added stresses in lives, and maybe not always the easiest to spot. If you want more information, northernlighthealth.org/behavioral health. That's northernlighthealth.org/behavioral health. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Back with more right after this.